I've got a what they call a strike point, which is a numeric value that our data sets are aiming at, that shows Bitcoin should be about 13,800 sometime in early February of next year. So about what 6 7 months, and there we are, and that'll be a basically a fivefold increase over what we're at now. This will continue the sort of rate of growth of
And
these.
hold on just a minute. Hold on. I just want to come back here now. And you're saying that this is really a function of the death of the dollar. And somebody else, Rob Kirby, said the same thing. Is that these explosions in cryptocurrencies really means the dollar's dying? He
Correct.
he said the same
Correct.
thing you did
Absolutely.
actually. And so you're saying that this is a result of the death of the dollar. So holding on to stacks of 20s outside the banking system isn't going to help you much or for long. Is that right?
That's quite correct. I mean, their acknowledged goal is to steal 2% of your money every year. That's what the Federal Reserve
Inflation.
sets up. Inflation,
Right.
which means we steal from you. That's their word for we steal from you. And so they want to steal from you 2% every year. The fact of the matter is that we know that global quantitative easing has never stopped. It's just shuffled from one central banking center to another so as to disguise it from the various populations. And we're at a position now where realistically, inflation, especially on food items, is reaching up into 18 and 20%. So you're going to lose a fifth of the purchasing power of your dollar just messing about with it. And at the same time as that, because of the limited supply and because of the various bottlenecks, the dollar price of other assets is going up, except for where they're controlled by the central banks. And it's my contention that the cryptos had to go first. They had to roar off first in order to upset the central banking algorithmic structure such that then silver and gold could break loose. And I suspect silver will break loose. I suspect that the rocket shot on that will be staggering, that the silver and gold people will be falling all over themselves. Now, however, bear in mind, I'm the internet's worst silver forecaster for price. Okay.
I got you. Okay. All right. All
Okay,
right.
because I've had prices for silver at $600 an ounce that have been in the data since 2003. So if indeed that's going to occur, look at how rapid and how shocking that rise is going to be. Now, I also have data that shows that gold lags behind Bitcoin, but that by February of next year, gold will be in the $4,800 range. So that says to me that the breakdown of the suppression system is underway by that point or has occurred, and things are just starting to take off for the metal. And I expect also that there will be some level of slosh where we get people that make profits
So
in the
wait. So gold
cryptos.
and silver will take off this year or next year?
No, they'll take off this year such that by the time that we get to next year, dollar values will be over 4,800 an ounce for gold. Okay, so it's not going to happen overnight that it would double, but it'll over that period of time, whatever it is now to February, it'll go from its current price up to about 4,800 an ounce. That's just what our data shows.
And then what about silver?
Silver, we have 600 an ounce somewhere, we think, before that period of time. Okay, and then silver thereafter goes basically towards parity, which is to say that we don't get numbers for it relative to dollars. We get numbers for silver relative to ounces of gold, and that we're going to go from a ratio of whatever it is now down to 1 to 1.
It's about
And
I don't know 60 or 70 times, something like that. It's pretty
okay,
high.
and so that would be the basic metric that you could use to judge how far silver is going to rise relative to gold's price over these next 8, 9, 10 months. At some point in February or so of next year, after we've achieved, or around the time we're achieving the $4,800 an ounce for gold, we're going to see real evidence of hyperinflation flooding out everywhere as the last parts of the body politic and the religion of the central banks is basically giving up the last of their lifeblood over those next couple of years. So 2018 is going to be a critical year. It's going to be horrific for everybody in the Western world insofar as our financial system, and therefore everything is going to be affected by it. All our politics, our monies, our healthcare system, our food, everything's going to be affected by how bad the monetary system, the problems of the monetary system in 2018. So basically, if you're going to try and do something, this is the year to do it, okay, 2017, because it all comes unglued this year, and it'll be your last year to get some more or less regular stuff done. And then we're going to go into this big period of chaos that will be economically driven, not financial, but economically driven. That is to say, the economy, our confidence in the dollar and our ability to trade and deal with each other at a global basis will be so shattered that we won't have any confidence in the economy and therefore anything based on that economy, which is the current financial system. Now, the cryptocurrencies are forming their own separate economy with people trading in and doing business in the cryptocurrencies globally. And so it's rising as the dollar system is dying. So it's never going to be a situation of one day we're all doing dollars and then the next day we're all doing cryptos. It's that some people are transiting now, they'll be into cryptos as other people are still in dollars. They're getting more and more into cryptos, they're out of dollars, and other people are trailing behind them, just starting to get into it. And it'll take a long time because there's 7 billion of us. So we can expect this to go on for perhaps decades. But the big kickoff in terms of sports metaphor happens this year, such that the game is fully engaged by 2018.
And there's no safety in yuan or pound sterling or real or rupee or yen. All that's the same basket of debt garbage.
Correct. You're dealing with the same group of buttheads trying to manage your currency.
And
it's a question of, do you have any faith, trust, and confidence in the people at the top of the system that you're involved in? If not, then one way now to get out, to vote, so to speak, with your lack of confidence is to get into cryptocurrencies or gold and silver. Gold and silver especially is the most undervalued asset on the planet at the moment. It's not going to return a huge amount of money to you 3 months from now. It's not going to be that kind of an asset in the future. It is money, so you're not going to be converting it to currency necessarily. You may in the future as you need to. So I don't see silver as an investment vehicle, because the idea would be that you would have to convert it back into fiat in order to profit from the investment, right? And so if the fiat is of no use to you, then you're not going to be doing any conversions that way. Sort of makes sense?
Well, it means you're just going to protect. It's going to be a true store of value.
Correct. And at the time that you need to convert it from a store of value to an exchange medium, you may at that point actually take the stuff to an exchange and convert it to cryptos. Or you may swap it over for, cars or houses or whatever it is you're actually going to buy.